Hello to my B group learners learning at home today. I would like to go over the daily workbook page with you today. You can try it on your own first and then check your work, or you can follow along. Either way, when you are done, please submit it to me through Canvas, and then you have new spelling words this week, list number 25, and you can start your new reading log for this week. So let's go ahead and get started. The first two sentences, it says we have to correct the sentences, and it is suggesting we don't got no pets in our family. Many mistakes here. I will highlight the words that have issues. Okay, there are some other issues with capitalization and punctuation lurking around, but really these three words I highlighted need some help. So let's go ahead and begin. Capital W. We don't have. Don't is a contraction for do not, and then have rather than got. And since this is a negative word, we talked about this last week, no is also a negative word, so you want to make it positive. So you do not have a double negative in your sentence. So the sentence will read, we don't have any pets in our family. With a period. Another way to fix it would be not to use a contraction and simply to say we do not have any pets in our family. But either way is fine. Okay, the second sentence here, Kelsey said, I want to go to Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. All right, we have someone speaking here. The subject of our sentence is a girl's name, so I want to capitalize that. Kelsey said, comma, and then quotation marks, and here's what she said. Capital I, always capitalize the pronoun I in a sentence. I want to go to, and now proper noun, Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a big American holiday coming up next month, toward the end of November. And that's the end of what she said, so end your quotation marks. This is rather interesting that you use an apostrophe S here, although there is not a noun after that word, but it's kind of implied or understood. I want to go to Aunt Joy's house for Thanksgiving. So that's not written there, but it's assumed, therefore you need the apostrophe S. Okay, now this next one, haven't done this in a while. You have to use context clues to determine the meaning of the bolded word. Catastrophes, including floods and earthquakes, did great damage to the farm town. So maybe you do know all the other words in this sentence except for catastrophes. Maybe you don't. Let's talk about some of these other ones, which you could look up, but I'll talk you through it. We have floods is when there's a lot of water. It rains too much and the rivers overflow. It causes damage. Earthquakes is when there's shaking of the earth, a crack in the earth. It also causes damage. And both of these things are catastrophes. So catastrophes, we could say, means, since it's things like floods and earthquakes, tornadoes, bad thunderstorms, tsunamis, hurricanes, catastrophes are dangerous events caused by nature. There is really nothing humans can do to stop it. To stop these events, they're caused by nature. So that's the definition of catastrophe. So we can figure that out by using the rest of the sentence to help us, which is the definition of context clues. Use the words you do know to help you figure out the ones you don't. Next one, fact or fiction. A fact is something you can prove to be true. It's scientific. Fiction is not necessarily true. So let's take a look. A moose strips off and eats the bark of trees. Well, first we have to know all the words. Moose is an animal. You could look up an image for this. It has big horns on its head. Here's my big bull moose. Some horns on its head. Like that. What does it do? It strips off, which means to take off or pull off, and eats the bark of trees. Bark on a tree is, here are the leaves of the tree, and the bark is here. It's usually brown, but it depends on the tree. Bark of trees. Okay, now that we understand the sentence, we can derive that this is a fact. It is a fact that a moose does this to trees. That's how they eat. The next one is also about the animal of a moose, this time the plural. The herd, which means a group, the group or the herd of moose danced in a circle in the middle of the stream. Well, I don't really think they danced in the middle of the stream. A stream is water. Because of the language that is used here, I would say this is fiction and not factual. So there you go for today. I hope you learned something new. And please complete your other 2 assignments, your spelling list for this week and your reading log, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Goodbye.